Another brick fan with a Harry Potter set. This is Hogwarts Castle Boathouse. This is set 76426. It was released in March 2024. It has 350 pieces, 5 minifigures, and cost about $38 when it was released. This is one of 8 Harry Potter sets that were released in March of 2024. And this is a recreation from the first year, or the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, where the first years travel across the lake in boats, and then they were met by Professor McGonagle. Overall, I think it's a really nicely themed set. I think it's great that you get 5 minifigures, especially in a set that's only that is less than $40. I think that's pretty good deal, but we'll get to that here in a little while. Let's take a close look at the minifigures here in a few minutes, but first let's take a look at the building or the boathouse itself. So here is the boathouse on its own. As you can see, there's a big tower here, and this is at the base of the castle. So there's a mountain path that goes up from this boathouse to the castle proper itself. But as you can see, it's got a nice little area for docking the boats in between here. So the boat, I think, is done pretty well. It's very simplistically made. It's got this very nice little detail here on the front, which is just a little lantern or light. I like how they used a sausage piece here to kind of create that bent look effect. As you can see, there's some exposed studs in here, and these will fit the minifigures. So we can easily put 2 minifigures in here. So we'll drop Hermione in there and maybe Harry inside. And as you can see, it does hold both of those minifigures quite well. So I think the boats overall, although very small, worked out really nicely, and you come up with a very good design for those small boats. Going back to the building itself, as you can see, there is, we'll zoom in here a little closer towards the base here, and you can see that there's some different features around the base where we have a little tree here in the back, maybe a couple of mushrooms. There's some foliage here. There's a spider back here on the back. Notice there are some clips back here, so I'm assuming they're going to come up with some more items to connect this to. I'm not sure what that would be. All this was connected to is the base of the mountain that Hogwarts is built on top of. The lake was well below the castle, so maybe just a big staircase, which I don't know, would be a fun addition, but maybe not create a full set, as it were. Here's the area right where the boat can dock into, so you can see, as I said, it does fit in there quite nicely. On the other side, we have a crab down here. Little crab down here, again, some more plants. There's these torches here out front. This is maybe a little bench or something where we could sit somebody, or you could take Hedwig here and put her there. From the back, you can sort of see these little tooth or claw pieces there. See this little claw piece here, which holds the oars in place, so there's one on each side. And of course, Harry Potter sets have a lot of these little decorative elements here. If we look up at the tower itself, inside the tower, there's this little removable spot here, and this includes one of these character tiles. So you get one of these mystery tiles here with the set. So let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures. As I mentioned in the beginning, this set comes with 5 minifigures. They include Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Neville Longbottom, Dean Thomas, and Professor McGonagle. We also have Hedwig, and I believe Trevor, which is Neville's frog, is also included with this set. Let's start out with Harry and Hermione. So as you can see, these two have the exact same torso. So the only things different, well, Hermione has a skirt, as you can see here. So it's a nice little skirt piece for Hermione. They don't have any house colors, since these are just school uniforms without any house crests, because they have not been sorted yet. Of course, Harry's got this part in his hair where you can see his lightning scar right there, which is a good touch. They have the short legs, which means they do not bend at all. These are just the short legs. There's, of course, mid legs, which is 1 plate higher, and the standard size legs are 2 plates higher. Both of those are bendable, of course. And you can see these are the same torsos as I mentioned. In the back here is Harry Potter with a kind of a scared or startled face. And I would say Hermione has a pretty worried face here. So these are pretty common heads for these two characters that we see quite often in these Harry Potter sets. Let's go ahead and move on to our next two. Here are our other two students, and we have Dean Thomas here on the left, and this is Neville Longbottom on the right with his big buck teeth. So once again, these have the same torsos and leg pieces that we had for Harry and Hermione, just simply because these are unsorted, brand new students at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Dean has the same kind of curly hair. Neville's got this messed up hair. His buck teeth here. So once again, these figures look very similar to Harry and Hermione with the exception of the head pieces. And here's Dean's alternate expression, and Neville's got a nice smiling expression here for his alternate face. Let's take a look at Professor McGonagle. Here we have Professor McGonagle, and I think she looks really nice in this green robes with these intricate patterns on them, a nice necklace she's wearing there. Kind of a stern face with those little eyeglasses you can see there. She does have a parchment here. Looks a little muddy. It was nice to get this parchment as a printed piece. And as you can see, it's got the names of all the students she's expecting to see, which are the 4 we just showed you. Hermione Granger, Neville Longbottom, Dean Thomas, and Harry Potter. So that's a nice touch there. As you can see, her hat is dual molded, so she has the hair in there and with it inside the hat. So I think that's a really nice touch to have the hair and hat as one piece there. And you see she does have arm printing here that continues those patterns you see on the dress. And nicely, the entire back here is printed. A lot of times on these robe or dress pieces, they don't actually continue the printing all the way down. So this is very nicely done with a lot of extra printing. And as you can see, she does have a smiling face as well as the stern expression she has. So overall, I think this is a very good Professor McGonagall figure. Getting back to the main build, let's take a look really quickly at the creatures that we have. So of course, this is Hedwig with her folded wings. Good printing on Hedwig with the eyes in the yellow and black. I thought that turned out really nicely. There's of course another version with Hedwig with her wings spread as well. I did mention Neville's frog. So his name is Trevor, and there's a little secret compartment down here where you pull this away. And you see there, inside that compartment is Trevor, the kind of olive green frog there. So it's nice there's a special spot for Neville's frog. Let's go ahead and I'll give you my final thoughts on this set. Overall, I think this is a pretty fun play set. I think it's nice to get the 5 students. Of course, as I mentioned when we were taking a closer look at them, they're in just black generic robes, no house colors yet for any of them. Obviously, they haven't been sorted yet. So they'll be moving on to get sorted after being greeted here by Professor McGonagall with her list of students. So all those are really nice little details. Of course, there's a couple animals with the fish and the crab, and then we have Hedwig, of course. It's nice to get the mystery tiles, although the mystery tiles I've got a duplicates already, which is a little disappointing considering I think there's a dozen of them. So it seems like that'll be pretty difficult to collect them all since they're random inside the packaging. A little trading will probably have to go on. Quickly on to value of this set. It is just shy of $40 for this set for 350 pieces, but I definitely expect Harry Potter to be a little more than the 10-cent per piece standard I like to start with. That doesn't surprise me. I think this is a good value, as I mentioned in the beginning, because you do get 5 minifigures, which is quite a few, considering they're about $5 a piece. Is generally a good way to price them. Then that means there's almost $20 worth of minifigures here just in this set. And then a pretty decent build. I'm really curious to see how they're going to connect this in. They have, obviously they've been doing these castle sets for quite some time, and they do tend to fit together. So last year we kind of got a few more of the pieces to create a large Hogwarts model. I think you had to put 6 sets, maybe 7 sets together to get quite a extensive minifigure scale Hogwarts castle with about, I would say, 2/3 of the castle, perhaps. So it'll be fun to see how many more of these come out. We also got the Owlry this year, so it'll be interesting to see how that may fit together. And of course, you can choose where you want to fit it. I'll be reviewing that set as well soon. So like I said, I believe this is a good set. It's a nice mid-priced set out of the Harry Potter collection. It was nice to get a couple of cheaper sets. We had the Flying Car for $15, and then Hedwig at Privet Drive for $20, and now this one's about $40. So it's nice to get fairly inexpensive Harry Potter sets, where a lot of the nicer ones are running in the $70 to $100, $120 range. And of course, there are certainly those sets in this wave as well. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Harry Potter set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, have a great week. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my Harry Potter review playlist up here on the screen.